A good Wednesday afternoon to you, Roger Hill of Weathering Heights. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com. It represents 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, and 802 Honda, and they're all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. Looking at the broad upper-level trough going through the middle part of the country, just about the Mississippi River, western Great Lakes. It's swinging in. This moisture is headed north and east, and you can see kind of a flat ridge over us, but that's what's been bringing in our warmer temperatures. And speaking of which, you can kind of see the temperature profiles here. Basically, we got 40s, 50s, and 30s, and then it cools into the 20s and even the teens. And behind this trough, we got the colder air that's going to be circulating into the region. So we're setting the stage right now, and this is developing a surface area of low pressure that's going to be pushing in the surface pressures you can see here to get rid of the 500 heights. And so this is the surface low that's going to be taking a track up in this general area. And as it intensifies, it's going to pull a low-level ribbon of air, the low jet, that's going to be interplay across our local terrain and create some downsloping winds. And the winds are the name of the game, and the most concern, of course, for utilities. I would expect impacts. As you can see here, most of the stronger winds are on the backside of this departing area of low pressure, which is going to be pushing in and heading northbound. And eventually, a lot of this jet stream energy is going to be circulating around its front side. And that's what we're going to see with that low-level jet working in from south to north across the Green Mountain Spine. Looking at the European model with the 3-hourly increments here. So this is valid about 4 o'clock this Wednesday afternoon. You can see a little bit of light precipitation working into the region. And then it works into Canada. We get a little bit of a dry slot, kind of a pre-dry slot, you might say. And here's our area of low pressure that's intensifying. And what it's going to do is swing in some strong gusty winds. The pressure gradient is going to deepen. And we start to see this formation of this band here that's going to whip across the region. You can see the precipitations on the increase there. And this is valid just to cover this back. It moves in basically around 4 in the morning. This would be 7 in the morning. We're talking 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, Thursday. And then finally 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then things lift north. That's 21Z. That's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then after that, we dry slot. And just to cover what's going to be beyond that, we get some lake effect snows that push into the region and so forth. And this goes well into Saturday morning before high pressure begins to build in. And we get a nice day on Sunday, albeit on the cold side, with cooler temperatures working in, more wintry-like for this coming weekend. So you're looking at the WRF model now, and this is valid about 3 o'clock this afternoon. You can see kind of a rain-snow combination. This is just mainly precipitation type. You can see that the main axis of precipitation kind of lifts off to the north, but still some little spritzy minor sprinkles, maybe some wet snowflakes off and on, before the main event begins to rotate into the region. Now, this particular model, the WRF model, wants to depict it mostly as rain. This is valid about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. This is also when those stronger winds will begin to blow into the region. So you can see what ends up happening. It overspreads all of the region, changes over to snow, and then that band of snow lifts north out of the region, and that approximate ending is roughly during the afternoon tomorrow. Okay, for winds, you're looking at the latest modeling here. This is the 12Z model. This is 06Z in the middle of last night. So this is valid about 20Z. That's 3 o'clock this afternoon. You can see the wind gusts are just starting to pick up with this blue around 20 miles an hour, 20 to 30 miles an hour. And things don't really get going until we get into these the green colors here, which are basically above 40. And what we can see is that we're getting 44 mile an hour gusts. This is just starting to happen. This would be valid 04Z. That is 11 o'clock this evening. So Bennington's starting to register. I probably there midnight. Now you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5 o'clock Thursday morning. 6 seems to be the worst in the areas around. This has been fairly consistent. The models have been on top of something here. So I'm expecting some of the worst downsloping in basically eastern portions of Rutland as well as eastern Addison County. And then that expands a little bit and then pushes on out. That expansion could be a model issue, but needless to say, you can see the general north to south rotation here with the winds. And this is going to be the main event. Okay, looking at the NAM model here. We're going to run this. Now, this is valid about 5 o'clock. Excuse me, 04Z. This would be midnight. And then we're seeing a little bit of rain, some mixed precipitation types. And then the main event, this band, associated with that low-level jet, you can see moderate to even potentially heavy rainfall, probably mixed with wet snow and sleet. And you can see the changeover there as time goes on. And some pretty heavy bands, and then we rotate that north and get out of town, pushes north. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights, thanks for watching.